a message for all of us. When she would start to deal with some challenges that come with growth of any organization, sometimes she would defer. She would ask me, or she would ask Chris. And Chris and I both learned that it was better for us to actually have her decide, because her decisions are based so much on the spirit of what the foundation is really about. And it's better that she leads that organization, way better than if it were me. Because I tend to make decisions that are based on data or based on some of the macroeconomics of a certain situation, and she very much makes those decisions based on her heart and based on her love for the individual participant that is going to come to the retreat. She still goes every Thursday and gives them their own personalized pendant that they take home as a transitional object from the retreat. She goes, she gives it to them personally, and she gives them each a hug. And that's the highlight of the week for her. And although they've served thousands of women now, and the foundation itself is up to 107 employees, she knows, she knows every one of them by name, and she is the final person to sign off on anybody that is hired at the foundation. So please give a warm welcome to my wife, to the love of my life, the president of the Unique Foundation, Shelaine Maxfield.
Listen to that. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna cry this time. And then he started, I'm like, oh, like trying to let the tears drip out of my eyes without touching me. So hello. How are you, my friends? I'm so happy to be here. You always make us feel so welcome here. I love rubbing shoulders with some of my favorite people, and I look forward to this all year. As nervous as I get backstage, I always feel so loved when I get out here, and thank you for that. I'm so thankful. We have a lot to share with you today, so I want to jump right in and show you a video update really quick. There is a lot to be proud of here at the Unique Foundation, a lot to celebrate.
You've made the impossible possible.
You've helped thousands of women heal and enabled parents to protect their children.
Doing great things requires funding,
and you've been incredibly generous. Your generous hearts have changed individuals, families, and communities.
Just look at all the good you've done over the past few years.
Just donate money. You've donated thousands of blankets, journals, and consumables.
You've also donated your time and spread the word about our cause.
This has helped thousands of women reclaim hope and start their healing journey.
So, thank you.
Thank you. Gracias. Grazie.
Obrigado.
Merci.
Danke.
And a great indication of the financial support that we get from you. We are matching your efforts to change the world. Let me tell you some of the things that we have accomplished. We recently launched a new website that is more brand consistent and user-friendly. Here is just a peek of it, but I hope that you will spend some time to explore it on your own. A few months ago, we got the results from a year-long third-party research study. Dr. Wood's report indicated that on average, we are seeing a 21% improvement in the well-being and a 23% reduction in PTSD symptoms of our past participants. He also concluded that overall these results are comparable to 15 to 24 weeks of group psychotherapy for trauma due to child sexual abuse. That's huge. These positive effects have been shown to be sustained for a year, which was the length of the study. And as recently as a week ago, we had over 1.7 million visits to our websites, and 39 million impressions between our two brands. Huge. In addition to English, our team is now actively working on materials in French, German, and Spanish. And we plan to have our very first Haven Retreat offered in Spanish by the end of this year. Because of my love for languages and cultures, this progress is particularly meaningful to me, and I hope it's just the first of many languages, the second of many languages that we're able to offer. Our Finding Hope support group went live, and we have 25 registered groups, including in the UK and New Zealand. These support, they must be some back there that started them, thank you. These support groups are run by members of their own community, and we provide the resources at no cost to them, and they govern themselves. In fact, we are piloting a support group in a local correctional facility back home right now, and we've already seen some really great feedback from it. We have outgrown our space at the unique corporate building, so we will be moving about a block away next year. And we will be so excited to have you visit us there. So if you're at corporate, please come over and say hello to us there. Last year at convention, I was so excited to announce that the home Derek and I built to host participants of the Haven Retreat in it was finally finished, and we'd start hosting retreats in it. And then literally at the last hour, we decided we couldn't make that announcement because we needed one more authorization to proceed. I was so disappointed by withholding that announcement, but now I can tell you that we recently completed our 33rd retreat in it. And last, but certainly not least, many of you know that Derek and I purchased a property in Georgia. So the Unique Foundation could offer a second retreat location to host participants of the Haven Retreat. It's a beautiful location, and there is such a sense of peace and reverence there. The grounds are lovely and tranquil, and let me just tell you that if you've never seen lightning bugs, you are missing out. They are so magical. I named the property the Meadow Moss Estate, so now applicants who are accepted to join us at the Haven Retreat will have a choice between the Creekside Estate in Utah and the Meadow Moss Estate in Georgia. Tell you that we completed our very first retreat just yesterday in Georgia. To date, we've had 134 retreats, and that's 2,755 individuals that have been able to attend our Haven Retreat. much to celebrate and so much to be thankful for. Thank you to each of you for helping us achieve these incredible heights. And now for what I hope will be the inspirational portion of what I wanted to share with you today. I want to talk about geodes. The name itself, geode, is so unassuming. The exterior gives off little indication of what can be found inside, so much so that they're often overlooked unless recognized by someone who knows what they're looking for. So often we as human beings feel overlooked. We may not appear as valuable or interesting to those who surround us, or perhaps when we compare ourselves to others. We may not seem to catch the eye or the attention of those who we seek it from, which can be at times frustrating and discouraging. But the lack of ability to recognize worth cannot change worth. Just like the worth of a geode doesn't change based on someone's inability to recognize that geode. Value is determined by what someone is willing to pay for something. But worth is an incredible God-given gift that we are born with. It cannot be altered. So how can true value be determined without entirely understanding the worth of something? And how could we ever assign worth to something that we don't entirely understand or appreciate the history, the experience, or the potential of? Did you know that it can take thousands of years for mineral-rich water to form crystals on the inside of a geode? Ultimately, you don't have to know much about geology to realize that when you discover a geode, you are literally holding a miracle of nature. Perhaps there is symbolism in that as it pertains to us. It may not be mineral water and thousands of years that create beauty and strength within us, but we are ever learning and being shaped by the experiences that we have in life. And each of those experiences holds value. Every last one of them can teach us something. Those experiences can create a fantastic array of talents, passions, and interests in us if we allow them to. And if magnified and pursued, they can become of great benefit to us. Did you know that geodes typically lie 1 to 4 feet below the surface? That's a lot of layers of dirt and clay packed on top of the geode. And so it is with life. We too at times are seemingly buried beneath layer upon layer of the negativity that life puts on us, the dirt life puts on us. Sometimes those layers are intentional and meant to protect us, but more often they are layers of negativity piled upon us by a world that sometimes refuses to see or to acknowledge our worth. And it is up to us to remove those layers. Those layers of negativity are slowly suffocating the life out of us and making us forget who we are intended to be. We get weighed down by the circumstances that surround us, the seemingly impossible odds against us. We feel the pressure of our situations, our weaknesses, our commitments, or our idea of how things ought to be. So much so that we get to a breaking point and feel as though we are about to be crushed by the weight of our world. But it's in those moments that we find out what we are truly made of. We discover incredible strength within, a depth and breadth of power to overcome that we didn't even know was there. Did you know that only by breaking the geode, by cutting it or cracking it, can the incredible beauty within be discovered? At some point, this cavity filled with water. And over time, even as the surrounding bedrock eroded away, this incredible rock acted as a shield on the outer layer, which allowed these beautiful crystals to be formed within. We all have reasons for staying small, maybe even hoping that we will be overlooked in some aspects of our lives, but we are not meant to stay small. We are destined for wonderful things. We are intended for greatness. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Anyone who would have you believe that you are not meant to do remarkable things with your life needs a good talking to. This year. You will never know what hidden treasures lie within yourself or within others unless you take the time to truly discover them. Did you know that just like geodes, incredible people can be found all over the world? And while we can most likely find a commonality with each and everyone that we will ever meet, each of us is unique. Unique spelled U-N-I-Q-U-E. I can't be the only one that always has to spell it out, right? We all have our own story, and it's an unfolding story worth appreciating. It's a great story worth discovering. Each of us has incredible treasure inside, and none of us are exactly like another. I see that incredible treasure in others, even when I struggle to see it in myself. That treasure is so apparent to me that it makes it quite easy for me to love others quickly and authentically. And that's a gift and strength that I am very thankful for. We can search the whole world over for ways to improve ourselves, and we will probably find some ways that are beneficial for us to do that. But no matter how far we look outside of ourselves, we will never find the incredible beauty and strength that has always been lying right here inside each of us. Each and every one of us has infinite worth. We are more valuable than rubies, and we have a price beyond measure. And that incredible, infinite worth has already been determined. There is nothing we can do to diminish it or to compromise it. And while it is not up to us to assign that worth, it is very much up to us to discover it. So live like you have unimaginable greatness inside of you. Live like you're preparing for a life full of all you've ever hoped for and dreamed for. And live like you are meant to do remarkable things with your life. Because I stand before you today to tell you that you are. Thank you. Thank you, my friends, for always making me feel so loved. I love you. Okay. Let's invite Tori out here to help me introduce this year's bundle. I think you're going to love it.
On your message about geodes, I think I can speak on behalf of everyone here, and in fact all of the presenters worldwide, when I say that you are the beautiful example of beauty within Shelaine. That's right! An example of seeking out and finding those spectacular crystals in others. So the team brought this geode in so that everybody could have a visual while we were listening to you talk about it. But we would love to present you with this geode and hope that it will be a gift on behalf of all of us, all of your unique families. family who you have shown by example that our greatest beauty sometimes lies deep within us.
Thank you.
So this says, like a geode, each woman's full story and her greatest strength is found within. Thank you for everything you do to show us that every day. With much love and admiration, your unique family. Did not walk out here with tissues, but I do have the one.
I'll have an extra.
On. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Last year, remember, we forgot to sit down.
Yes.
We did our whole presentation with chairs behind us.
Crew back there was like, oh my heavens, why did we even take those chairs out there?